As an executive director of a nonprofit or association, you've got board members that have volunteered with the hopes of making a change. But for all their good intentions, many of them are ill-prepared to make the decisions necessary for the changes they had envisioned. I can speak from experience. As a former board director and later an executive director myself, I've had to deal with board members who didn't understand the role of the board. Many wanted to micromanage everything, while others just didn't seem to think their role as a board member even mattered. It felt sometimes that likely you'd have to literally jump on their hood of the car to get their attention. Most didn't realize the weight that their decisions had on the entire organization, and it can be incredibly frustrating dealing with board members like these. I know what it's like to be an executive director, dealing with either end of a board that doesn't really get their role or is somehow not really sure of how they're supposed to interact with you as a chief staff officer. And as someone who's also interviewed hundreds of nonprofit board directors, I've learned a lot over the years about what works and what doesn't when it comes to dealing with volunteer board members. I understand what it's like to deal with micromanagers, or on the flip side, unprepared and untrained board members. But maybe you're asking, what's the solution? Well, you could fork out thousands of dollars for a weekend training retreat or bring in a facilitator to train your board. But let's be honest, that information is often quickly forgotten and it's expensive. And that's assuming, of course, you can even get the budget in the first place. Instead, why not just have them learn from many other board members who have faced similar challenges and issues? Now, if you're a member of your own professional association, be it the American Society of Association Executives, the Canadian Society of Association Executives, or whatever professional association that applies in your case, you know that one of the best ways of learning occurs when you can network and learn from your colleagues. Now, the Society of Nonprofit Board Directors connects board members from all over the world and helps them share experiences, stories, and challenges they are facing. Your board members can readily access the community forum, attend roundtable discussions just for nonprofit board directors to learn from their peers, and repeatedly go back for a variety of resources on how to be a better board director when they're looking for answers they might have. Now, normally membership is $99 per year, but for just $4.95, the whole of your board can gain access to an annual membership that is transferable anytime someone new joins the board. This allows you to properly have a board that's trained and gives them access to a growing library of research and white papers that deals with many of the challenges your board might just be facing. And they can educate themselves about governance, learn about the top questions they should ask themselves before undertaking a change, and most importantly, learn how to be a better advisory board and employer for you. Look, take it from me. Most board directors value your input, but from my studies of hundreds of board directors, I've found that if given the choice, they would really prefer to feel like they're coming to their own conclusions. Most trust their executive director or chief staff officer, but they have a sneaking suspicion that they just don't feel they have all of the tools, connections, or enough of the information to become an independent sounding board, or to provide an independent voice to appropriately guide the organization or give the right amount of guidance to their executive director without overstepping their bounds. So, what's it going to be? Face a board that, out of ignorance, feels its role is to micromanage you in every aspect of what you're doing, or on the other hand, frustrate yourself and your already busy schedule, trying to tell them what their role is. And let me tell you, that doesn't usually work out very well for the executive director in the end as well. All right, so you've got another option as well. You can provide your board with yearly access as a result to a sounding board of board members with their answers that they're seeking out for themselves, allowing them to grow in their confidence as a board director. You can get access now for just $4.95 a year. And look, if you're still not certain, start with a free 30-day trial to see if this is right for you and your board. And at the end of the trial, just pay $5.75 to continue access. Have your board stay connected and continue learning with the Society of Nonprofit Board Directors. Sign up today.